So don't you all feel that life is funny? Because first we want to grow up and then we want to be kids again. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to start today's talk with a question that all of us have been asked before. What do you want to become when you grow old? A scientist, an astronaut, or anything that sounded cool as a kid, right? But the real question is, what did your parents want you to become? Well, if you're someone like me who comes from a normal middle class background, from a small town called Miryalaguda in Telangana, your parents would want you to become maybe a doctor or an engineer because your parents want you to have something that they missed in their life. What is that? A stable life or a lifestyle, right? And same, in the same way, one of my friends, Rahul, his parents dreamed of him to become an engineer, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, this is story time. This was back in 2011, right? I and Rahul were classmates, and we were like something around 11 years old. We used to sit in the first bench in our class, right? Rahul was this, topper friend that I used to have. He is the dream kid that parents can dream to have, and like a ideal student that teachers would pray to have, right? He was always first in the class, first in exams, first in submitting the assignments, everything, right? Years passed by, year after year after year. His, he was very, very studious, and he finally put the school's name in front of the, entire town, right? And he actually became the poster boy of the school, right? And 10 boards happened, and then 11th, class 12th, we went to the coaching. And what do you expect from him? He became the topper over there as well. He finally cracked IIT JEE and finally went to IIT Bombay. First year, second year, third year, he finally started to excel at IIT Bombay as well. What else his parents could dream of? Everyone thought that this Rahul would now become, join hands with some of the best companies in the world and earning crores and crores of money. Fourth year, he finally sat in the placements. 2023, it was December, day one, day two, day three, he didn't get placed. He finally got placed on day five, and guess his package? 5 LPA. The same kid who was supposed to get crores of package is now out of IIT Bombay with a 5 lakh package. Why did this happen? Everything was supposed to happen good. He's the dream kid. He's the dream child. He's the studious one. He's the most disciplined one. So what happened? Why 5 LPA? Why not in crores? Little did anyone realize that the year is 2024. And the job market isn't the same anymore. The times have changed with the advancements in AI, with the advancements in LLMs, with the recent release in AI software engineering, like engineer. A lot of things have changed. The job market doesn't seem the same. So what do we do? What do we, the college students, do right now? How do we cope up with this? What should we learn? Are we all messed up right now? Imagine studying 4 years, 5 years in a college. You study engineering and then you get out of the college without any job. In fact, you're not even employable. How does it feel like? So what should we do? I mean, before we answer this question, I'd like to share 2 more stories with you. The first one is back in 2022, right? And before going to the story, we have to realize the fact. This is the time for us, for the students, for the parents to reimagine the imagined conventional career paths that we have been looking forward for the last 20 years in India. The times have changed. Now let's get back to the story. The year is 2022. COVID-19 finally started ending, and I, along with my friends, we started going back to IIT Kharagpur. This was back in my second, third year of college. And I just packed everything, my bags, luggage, books, laptop, everything. I just packed everything. I just went back to the college. I got out of the cab. I just started entering my hostel room, right? And 2 rooms apart, there used to be one of my friend. His name is Karthik, right? So Karthik, I've just looked at him. I was like, what is this guy doing? Because this guy had 3, 4 other people with him. They were carrying huge boxes along with him. We were like entering the hostel. And then I see the boxes are just like people are opening the boxes, and then I see huge monitors, a big gaming setup, a PS5, all of those things coming, a big lighting setup, and all of those things coming out of his room. I was like, man, this Karthik is so rich, I guess. His parents should be so rich. Like, how can he have like so many? I used to have like a chair which was made of that iron and all of that stuff. When I move it, it used to give me that kir 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 wala sound. And now this guy, in like just 2 rooms apart, this guy has like a gaming setup, entire thing, a studio inside his hostel room. How is that even possible? I was jealous actually. But 2 days passed, 3 days passed, a couple of weeks passed, and then I realized I slowly started talking to Karthik, and I realized that this guy, he had 8 backlogs. And then I realized that this guy was from my department in my college itself. I've never seen him in the class. So I just went. I was like very curious. I talked to him. I was like, "What are you doing in college? Like such a waste. Like 8 backlogs. Who has it?" Then I realized the same guy who had 8 backlogs, whom I have never seen in my class, has recently bought a super bike, has recently bought a car, has bought a flat to live in. How? Parents ka money. That's what I thought. But then I realized that this Karthik was actually an ethical hacker, right? He used to do something called bug bounting, where companies try to give a project to all the freelance ethical hackers, and these people try to find bugs in the websites, web apps, and all of those things. Like, man, this is such a badass thing. Like, I've never seen someone doing that, at least in college. This guy is like on a different level. He's not even playing like the regular college thing, like regular college, things that we have to do. He's on a different level. So then I started asking myself, is this sustainable? I mean, whatever he's doing, okay, maybe he's doing bug bounting, he's an ethical hacker and all of that stuff, but this is not sustainable, right? That's what exactly I thought. Do you think this Karthik will do the same stuff throughout his life? Maybe this year, he earned something around 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 lakh. But do you think next year he'll do the same? I thought that's like a graph which is always coming down, right? But let's not, conclude this right away. This gets us to the next story, which was in 2021, and this is about myself. I was this lost kid. I was in the second year of my college. I was just looking at my wall. I was just sitting in a corner of my room. This was again back when COVID happened and all of this stuff. We are all at home. I was looking at the wall. I was like, Tharun, what do you want in life? Maybe at this point of time, all I want is just like a normal college placement, which can pay me something around 1 lakh per month. That's like my dream job right now. Anything, any job is my dream job if we can pay me something around 1 lakh per month. That's what exactly I thought. Tarun, what happened to you? Because when you were a kid, you thought of becoming a scientist. What happened to all the dreams right now? Right? I was just that lost kid in the class. I was scared that I'll not be placed and all of that stuff. Then, fast forward 2024, I have a full-time job which pays me huge amount of money. I run a couple of YouTube channels. I have my own creative agency where we provide, post-production and pre-production services to brands and all. And then I also run one of the fastest growing video editing cohorts in India. So how did all of this change? Like just 2-3 years of thing, and how did like a normal, like a low confident kid, how did he do it? How was he able to do it? Well, it all started with the one word which goes like experimenting. So it all first started with me experimenting. I first started with like a internship in copywriting. And then that led to one more internship in marketing. And then that led to one more internship in digital marketing. And then that led to one more internship at IIM Bangalore. And that led to one more internship at a startup based in Romania. And that led to one more internship in, uh, what do we say, like web development or software development or whatever it is. So when someone asks me like, Tharun, what is your 5-year plan? Or maybe when someone asks you, what is your 5-year plan, especially when you're in college, what do you say? I completely believe that, students, at least in the year 2024 or 2023, you should not have like a 5-year plan. All you have to do is experiment, because you have to keep searching for what you love in college. And you won't be able to search for what you love in college if you just go to classes, if you just submit your assignments, and if you just come back and sleep in your hostel rooms. You have to keep experimenting. It's not what you do in the classes. It's not what you do inside the college. It's what you do outside your classes. That's what matters the most in like being a successful, in having a successful career as a student in 2024. And I'm very confident that if a student doesn't have the features like being resilient, right? Or if a student doesn't have the features of being agile or adaptable, right? Or if a student is not good at problem solving, his life, his next 5 years is going to be very, very, very scary, right? So what are the 4 things? Being resilient, being agile, being adaptable, and being great at problem solving. So how do we develop these 4 or 5 these features? How do we do that? So I have something called as the framework 344. It's very simple. For every 3 months that you have while being in college, try to work on a new skill. Make it a hobby. Like learn it in and out, right? And after every 3 months, try to move on to the next skill. Because after 1 year, you'll have at least 3 to 4 skills in your hand. And after 4 years, you'll have at least 12 to 16 skills in your hand. And it's not about what skill you're learning. It's not about, is this skill even valuable right now? Because it's about the journey. It's about the person that you'll become after, through this journey, after finishing learning this, 3 years or 4 years of journey. Right? Because I'd like to tell Steve Jobs' names here. Because once Steve Jobs, in his speech, told how the calligraphy class that he took after dropping out of college has helped him to develop beautiful type like fonts for the Macintosh. Maybe you'll be the next one talking about one of these 12 or 16 skills that you'll learn before you graduate. And I'd like to end today's speech by telling you one thing. If you have to take away one thing out of this entire speech, that would be you have to experiment. Because the next 5 years is going to be scary, especially for the engineers, because everything is going to be automated. AI is going to take over. And this is the time where we have to find what we love, right? And I'd like to end this with one quotation which is very, very close to my heart, which goes like, if you're going through hell, keep going. Thank you.